Alright, this is becoming a nightly thing for me. I swear I'm not addicted. Hey everyone, welcome in. Hey Jen, Sirius, DC, good to see you. Okay, so we've got this temporary start. That's right, Jen. Quitting the long dark is easy. I've done it 1,000 times. So, we got this sort of temporary start. I think we're in a blizzard. This one probably gets tossed in the trash. But we were just gonna play it out to see if we can, pull it off. Yeah, blizzard's going. It's the middle of the night. It's gonna be terrible travel time. I think I made all my birch bark, right? I guess technically I have more to make. I don't know if I want to make that many. DC. Oh my gosh. Hey, Coca. We were chatting in the Discord about this 20 by 50 challenge that I came up with to reach 1,000 days without getting bored. So the idea is like every 50 days you completely restart, and you're not allowed to use any of the structures that you've used in the previous runs. So you like have to plan out and use only a very small amount of the structures on the map for each of your 50-day runs. I'm thinking about streaming it, but I don't know. It might be a little too artificial for my tastes. Like if I really, really wanted the achievement, then maybe I would do it. But I think I just don't care about the achievement. Alright, we're just wasting time here until this ends. Looks like we are very nearly out of fuel. Even streaming like crazy, that would take a very long time. Well, yeah, it would be like a multi-year project. I mean, anything where you're surviving for 1,000 days. I mean, that's gonna be a very long-term project. I didn't realize you could see out here. I guess they have an invisible wall to prevent you from crawling out that way. All right. This is hopeless. We wasted like 12 hours here. Just gonna toss it in the bin. All right. Let's do the new strategy. Yeah, we can't survive with like a 12-hour blizzard on day 0. Did you find the bedroll in the matches yesterday? Oh, Coca, it's bad. Not only did I not find any matches at all, so we looted like 4 to 5 regions and found 0 RNG matches the entire time. I just had the 2 guaranteed packs. Not only did that happen, but after hitting the 25% chance of loot table 1, where there's no bedroll except in Bleak Inlet, I then also hit the 25% chance that the Bleak Inlet bedroll would be indoors where I'm not allowed to get it. So I hit the 6.25% chance total of there being no bedroll in the game. And I found 0 RNG matches in looting 4 regions. That run was just cursed. Okay. We'll rename these later. It'll probably take a couple of attempts. Also, I had an idea just to get a run going in this. So, we all agree, theoretically, we all agree that it's possible to find matches. It's just that, you know, you might have to start 10 times before you get a run that has matches. So what if we said, you know, screw it, we'll just create our own luck. We just go straight to Timberwolf. If we haven't found matches by the time we get to the fishing hut, including the fishing hut itself, then we just go in Mountaineers and grab the matches there. That's equivalent. I mean, okay, so first of all, let me just say, yes, this is cheating, right? Like, it's cheating, it's against the rules of the challenge. Anybody who wants to say, you know, this is not allowed, I 100% agree with you. However, logically speaking, it, in 1 or 2 runs, allows us to accomplish the exact same thing that we could accomplish from starting, like, 15 runs until we're lucky enough to get matches off of this guy, or in the car, or, I guess there's, like, 3 cars, there's some places near the plane crash where you can get lucky with matches. There's a few containers. There's a fishing hut. Right? So, like, if you played 15 runs, you'd eventually find random matches. So why not just create our own luck, and then we can actually play the game? That's my thinking. Serious? You thought about that? Yeah, well, I like to avoid... I like to avoid this type of thing, right? Because before you know it, you're saying... Oh, well, if I got lucky enough, I'd get a sewing kit and matches and, like, a jacket from the cave, so I'll just grab all of that from the Mountaineers. And then, obviously, that gets a little bit ridiculous, right? So, we don't want to take it quite that far. We'll see, and I wouldn't allow 1 indoor loot. Oh my goodness, got a jacket already. I wouldn't allow 1 indoor loot. Because then I could just play until I found matches outside, and then grab something good from inside. What the heck? This is the start, I guess. 2 best in slot items, pretty much, and gloves. Now I'm tempted to go down and see if the flare is there and just play this run normally. Right, so there is the argument for a run like this. Like, say I don't find matches on this run. Then you can make the argument, if I take the matches from Mountaineer's Hut, I've unfairly gamed the system, right? I've gotten extra advantage. Because I wouldn't normally get anywhere near this lucky that I find not only all these items, but also matches. I don't know. I could see it being argued either way. I don't know why I'm taking the time to put these clothes on. We're not going to be warm. I feel like I didn't loot both of these suitcases. One. Yeah, I missed this one. Okay, that's a lot of cloth. What makes this fun for me? Yeah, exactly. You're right. Like, what is it that makes it fun? And it's definitely not starting over and over again. That's not what makes it fun.
Well, this stuff
What the heck? We found so much loot. I guess you could make the argument that we're actually paying a price by... Oh, that's a Timberwolf pack. Yeah, we're actually paying a price by going straight to Timberwolf. Because we're not going to get that 20 birch bark in the forest. I don't know, maybe there's such a thing as too lucky to also cheat the matches. If there was one run where I feel like it's too lucky to justify cheating matches, it would be this one. Go check for flare, grab a little bark, then head to Timberwolf Mountain. Yeah, but we're gonna be, can't afford to waste all this time. Let's just go right between these guys. They'll never know what hit them. Yeah, I guess another thing is it's kind of changing the way I play, right? Like if I wasn't allowed to grab the matches from Mountaineer's Hut.
You never know.
Oh my gosh, we got matches anyway. Okay, this is just the god start. What the heck? This is insane. Whoever said return of the unicorn run. I've actually found matches there before. I think with this start. So wait, we can go back down and get the birch bark if we want. But is it even worth the time? Probably not, right? I mean, we're already close to getting more birch bark in Timberwolf. I think we just grab it once on the way out. I'm going over here to check for the, oh, true, the hacksaw. If this is a loot table 3 run, then we're toast. I mean, not toast, but it'll be a much, much less strong start. Now, one thing is I haven't really picked up much fuel yet, have I? 32 sticks is a good amount, I guess. I think my headcanon is that the game heard me. The game heard me getting desperate enough to cheat. And it said, okay, look. I'll give you one shot. With everything. Don't screw it up. We don't need that. We can't have any of that anyway. Yeah, there's a chance there will be no hacksaw here. But I mean, honestly, okay. We'll just get all the birch bark here and an AC. Might even go to the summit to get the matches in the fire striker and a few other things just for the heck of it. Okay, 66% hypothermia risk. Probably just have a fire at the fishing hut. I think we can make it. I guess there's also an argument, if we determine that there's no hacksaw, we can skip the entire summit thing. That eliminates the need to sleep. We can just do a big birch loop and come back. Find a hacksaw, then return. No, I think that'll be too much time invested. I think if we get all the birch bark and we leave here, then we're probably never coming back. Oh, there is the stem at the summit too. The stem is pretty useful. You get stem, fire striker, 2 matches. 2 packs of matches, probably 2 accelerant. Either crampons or the flare gun. A lot of good stuff. 79%. We might have to stop a little bit early. Well, we don't get the cloth unless we... I was thinking about going without the hacksaw, just to get the stuff. But yeah, obviously coming back to Timberwolf with hacksaw would give me tons of cloth in that instance. 83. Alright, let's just go pick up a couple pieces of birch bark and then start this fire. Not gonna try to make it all the way to the fishing hut.
I'm getting tired.
One, two, three. And I think there's some more over here somewhere. So let's just go start the fire over here. Shoot. I didn't get any cattails, did I? Let's be greedy. Hopefully this doesn't give me hypothermia. Okay. Yeah, I should have thought about the tinder way in advance. At this point, we just burn birch bark if we have to, because we're probably at like 95% hypothermia risk. I'll just, burn birch bark if I absolutely have to. Looks like we made it, though.
Perfect.
Throw on like 20 of these, maybe? Ooh, 97%. That was close. Let's make more tinder first thing. I've also got an extra shirt to throw on. 45 versus 50. Actually, let's wear the worst ones. We'll, probably drop those pretty soon. We're gonna be getting a lot of cattail heads, so I don't really want to waste my sticks. We do have to sit by this fire a bit longer, though, so I guess I'll make 4 more. This fire isn't very hot, is it? Alright, let's throw like 10 more sticks on. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. 1 more piece of birch bark. Ooh, 2 more. %. Oh, I gotta remember, unlike frostbite risk, hypothermia risk won't climb while I'm warm. I think I see 1 more piece of birch bark over there. Exactly what I wanted. Hey, turkey. Nobody? Welcome in. Sorry if I missed anybody else. We have an absolutely insane start here. For those of you who missed it, I spawned in Misery mode, Pleasant Valley, grabbed, went to the plane crash, straight to the plane crash, and got ear wrap, wool toque, ski jacket, wool socks, and mittens, and like a t-shirt. And then we were talking about whether I was going to do a version of this where we just grab matches from mountaineers if I haven't found them by the time we get to the fishing hut. And then I found matches on the body at, what's it called? What is it called? Point of disagreement. That's what it was. Just have to remember to grab these on the way out if I haven't found any more. Like if we don't get the hacksaw. Okay, let's do a bunch of torch conversion here while we're waiting for these teas to cook. But yeah, absolutely insane start. No, I wouldn't have a hard time getting that lucky on Pilgrim. I guarantee if you start on Pilgrim and go loot the plane crash and point of disagreement, you'll get better loot than that. Also, I didn't get to loot Skeeters because there was a, exactly, serious. I didn't get to loot Skeeters because there were Timberwolves there. Alright, we probably don't make this third tea. I think we can head off with 2 teas. It's not like we have a thermos to keep them warm. Anybody remember what I found at the hunting blind, if anything?
Up again.
I don't think we found much. Okay, so we get one more torch before we go. Let's harvest some of these. Nothing at the hunting blind? Okay. Hypothermia risk still hasn't gone, but it probably will by the time we get cold again. It'll probably be 0. Now, is there another... I feel like there might be another birch bark spawn over here. I don't think I have a stone to scare this guy off with, unfortunately. Pretty sure I did not remember to grab a stone anywhere. Alright, looks like I'm wrong. It's okay, though. I mean, we got 3 teas just on the way in here. That's already really good. Are there any cooking pots or cans in this mode outdoors? Definitely cans. There's not going to be a cooking pot. At least not guaranteed, because we can never go to HRV due to the no caves rule. So we can't ever go to HRV or Blackrock. You know, for what little that matters, which is not much. But yeah, there's a few places with guaranteed cans. There's the Mystery Lake Snow Shelter Camp always has a can. I think there's a few other spots. You can get lucky and find one. And then, of course, there's always forging a tool and cutting up. I'm not allowed to eat canned food, am I? So I can't get an extra can. Yeah, I can't get an extra can that way. That's okay, though. Hey, Shepard. Katie's secret spot has a can. Yeah, I guess that's technically legal. I probably won't ever go to Desolation Point just because I'm playing the 0 hours indoors version of this, which means I'm going to be sprinting through the transition mine and trying to minimize time spent in transitions. In fact, if I play my cards right, we could leave Pleasant Valley for Coastal Highway and actually come back to the northeast later. Try not to attract any attention here. Wow. Second pair of mittens. Oh my goodness. He gave me 3 gloves. You're like, okay. You don't want to play without gloves. Well, there's a can. That solves that. What is the start? Sewing kit? Not that it really matters. Okay. Threats work. You would allow pork and beans maybe because it has pork in it. Nah, we're gonna stick to the rules. Like I said, there's plenty of places to find a can, and we just got an RNG one anyway, so... Oh, it's already cold. That was a mistake. Definitely was planning to drink that before it got cold. Actually, I guess it's fine, because it's so warm right now. Yep, I was right. There goes the hypothermia risk healed.
Man, I could eat anything.
Super ultra mega unicorn. Well, we still don't know if we have a hacksaw. If there's no hacksaw here, this becomes much worse. I mean, it's still really good. I'd rather get all that stuff than get the hacksaw and not get all that stuff. Hacksaw is especially important because we can only eat meat. So... I'm gonna want to be harvesting a lot. No cattail stalks. I'm gonna drop all the cattail stalks in a minute. I'm just getting all this for tinder right now. So we have plenty of tinder. But yeah, I'm gonna drop these not only to save the weight, but so I don't accidentally eat them. Just gonna grab the rest of this little bit here. As much as you can with 3 pairs of mittens. Where are they? Kind of wasting time here. Okay, drop all those. Okay, I need another fire soon, although... Okay, what is it? Right click to drop the first thing, and then... Yeah, so we should go right, left, and that leaves that there. Okay. I never use that trick.
Did I say I hate
Grab a couple of stones while I'm thinking about it. If you could forge a saw? I don't know, that seems a bit weird. I don't know what tool you would use to cut all those teeth in the saw. Particularly a hacksaw that's meant to cut, like the hacksaw blade that's meant to cut metal is gonna have so many tiny teeth.
Oh, so cold.
No? Oh, come on. Give me something here. Thought I was so clever coming up to this little spot, but apparently not. Oh, didn't we get a book at the, what's it? Meat includes fish, right? I think so. I considered maybe not allowing fish, because technically we do have the birch bark. But I don't know if that's enough vitamin C. I think it's fine to include fish. Right, it's more just getting rid of all the packaged food and cattails. All the easy early game stuff.
Oh, lucky day.
Alright, we only have the one birch bark. Yeah, this is going to be the issue. We really need to go get more. I wonder if we probably go to Ash Canyon before we summit, now that I think about it. Because we need to go get all that birch bark.
I need to find food.
Okay, do we have any cloth that obviously makes sense to harvest? Hey Kirk, welcome in. Probably this. Yeah, take that first. Gotta remember we can't repair anything. And then probably this eventually. It's a 20-minute harvest. We'll wait until we get something better. to replace that with. Yeah, I'm actually really glad I didn't spend 2 teas. We're gonna have to do a single tea per travel until we get more birch bark. I guess make a bit more water here. Only feels like 10. Haven't watched many streams. When you have this crown thing, oh, it's a dumb feature where they try to like figure out who your number 1, 2, 3 and number 1, 2 and 3 fans are based on, I don't know, watch time and engagement and whatever else. You spend enough time on here, you learn to kind of tune it out. It just fades into the background. I'm starting to think maybe it was wrong to come here. Maybe it was better to go back to the birch forest. With all the insane loot that we had and the matches. Because the one thing that's really going to prevent us from getting very far is the lack of birch teas. I don't know, though. Maybe it'll work out. Can I go back all the way to Pleasant Valley? No, that wouldn't make any sense compared to just going on to Ash Canyon. I don't think I can... No, I can't get up there. And there's no coal in sight. Alright, let's go this way. It's so funny seeing the cattail stalks left on the ground. Yeah, so we're going to check this spot for the hacksaw. Then we're going to check the wing for the lantern, and while we're there we can get a bunch of birch bark, or, you know, some birch bark. And then I think we're going straight into Ash Canyon, and we're going to clean that place out for all of its birch bark. That's pretty much regardless of what we find in terms of hacksaws and whatnot around here. I'm actually so concerned about this run working out that I'm already thinking of how to modify the rules. Like maybe we allow something like acorns and burdock too. Sleep in AC, yeah. Eventually. Wimp. Yeah, pretty much. It looks like we have a body here. I think that's a high chance of the hacksaw being here too. Because it's being guarded by a zillion wolves. Acorns take enough work to use. It's probably fair. Yeah. I'm gonna play it out the way I intended. It may be... It may be doomed, of course, but... I'm still not gonna... change the rules mid playthrough. Alright, definitely no hacksaw here. Alright, so what's the best way to get down from here? I think if we go right this way, then we can also... Oh, we might have to wait in the fishing hut down here anyway. Looks like this might turn nasty. But, yeah, if there was a guaranteed cooking pot in the game...
Die if I don't get some food soon.
Oh, you're gonna be fine, Astrid. We're not worried about starvation. If there was a guaranteed cooking pot, then we could allow broth. Right, that's just like meat and salt.
Come on,
And
fire.
water. That would be a way to add some additional tea-like things into the game without changing the theme of it.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Anyway, it's fine. I think even if this ends up being too hard, we're probably going to survive for quite a while, just because of the birch bark tea. Like, it'll... If I get all the stuff from Ash Canyon, we're gonna last quite a while. Yeah, serious, I know, but I really liked the full no caves rule. Like, just stack everything to max difficulty. DC, is there salt that can be found outdoors? Yes. Along the coasts, there's several places where you can get salt. It's not in a cave. If you allow caves too, I think there's even more. And you don't need much salt to make a lot of broth. Okay, so last tea, guess we can make water while we warm up. Not really in any danger of running out anytime soon. I could harvest this for accelerant. That's an hour? Let me think about this. That's a little bit too long right now. 13. Oh, we could do just allow tea and coffee, right? Herbal tea and coffee, because those are quite rare in Outer. Like, I'd get a few at the summit here. Yeah, there can be a cooking pot outside. I've seen one in Mystery Lake even. It's pretty rare. Anything that's in the far territories is like, you know, we would probably lose before we got there. Alright, I have plenty of tinder. I'm not going to drop any of that. Looks like we got lucky with the weather here. So far, at least. I'm going to leave all this time on the fire, I think. We'll take a few torches. Actually, we've got enough. But we'll take a few more, and I'll leave a couple hours on here, just in case we have to come back. I don't trust this weather. It's the first night, and it's already... with a plus 27 fire and all this clothing, we're warming up very slowly. It really shows just how quickly it starts to get cold in this mode. How much cloth do I have? Just the one. Snow shelters are allowed.
Need something to eat.
Otherwise, this would be nearly impossible. You definitely have to have the ability to sleep in a snow shelter from time to time. I mean, technically, I guess you could do cars. But then you'd never be able to pull off this run to Timberwolf and Ash Canyon and all these places. Okay, there should be birch bark here. Have I missed it somehow? Or maybe it's further up somewhere? Come on, I need every piece of birch bark I can get. Alright, maybe it's further up. Or maybe I just got unlucky with the spawns or something. Or maybe it's back there? Oh well. I'll just keep going. There's a bunch coming up.
I think my stomach is eating itself.
No, can we not get over here? Oh, we can. Okay. What in Ash Canyon can you do if you can't go indoors? I can pick up like 50 birch bark. That's the reason to go to Ash Canyon. Yeah, and of course I have to get my towel. Do you know where your towel is? And this is the exact wrong time to be searching for birch bark. All these shadows and everything. Shadows and grass and lighting effects making it impossible to see anything. Okay, don't think there's any more up this way. See one down here.
I need to find some place to escape this cold. Too cold to think.
There's no way I got all the birch bark. There should be a lot more than that. At least 2 or 3 more pieces. Alright, well at least there's a hacksaw at the summit.
One little fire. Are you serious?
Yeah, serious, if I was being, oh, you know what? I should have known because we found the lantern
Come on,
at the fishing hut, right? So I didn't even need to check here. We knew as soon as we found the lantern at the fishing hut that it couldn't be the loot table with the lantern at the wing. Interesting, I never thought about it that way. Anyway, what was I gonna say? If I wanted to be really, really mean to myself, I could say that that outdoor wind shelter counts as a cave. It certainly doesn't look like a cave, but it does act like one of the scripted caves. At least one of the outdoor-only scripted caves, like, kind of like Three-Way Cave, right? Although Three-Way Cave has a warmth bonus. Kind of like, what's the, Dave's Quiet Clearing. And the little, cave-like thing near the hunting blind? Allen's Cave? Those are, like, cave-like entities that don't have any warmth bonus, but are windproof. Anyway, I think the game is probably hard enough without me eliminating that place as an option for sleeping. Especially since it's going to take us forever to get there. We'll be quite lucky if we can sleep there tomorrow night. Those feel outdoors to you? Well, yeah, but we're doing specifically outdoors and no caves. How are we still only two up? Having to have a 4-hour fire here just to get a reasonable amount of warmth out of it. It's ridiculous. Okay, I guess I have to start using the improvised coal trick. Where we just drop a ton of torches nearby to get extra warmth. Ow. Let's see, we're gonna also have to cook teas once these are done. Which means we need to do... Oh no, we only have 1 tea. Yeah, see, I should have found at least 3 more birch bark there. We needed to get the birch bark from Pleasant Valley, I think, is the takeaway here. We'll see how it goes. I can't even afford to carry all this water with me. This is the first night, though. It's not really that cold the first night. We have a plus 34 fire, 17, so it's only only negative 17 without the fire. Okay, so I guess one way we can handle these situations is in a spot like this, where I know I'm going to be coming back. We can just peel off all the torches and let them burn out when it's time to go. Which is about now. Then we'll have a bunch of fuel waiting for me here when I come back. Yeah, I think we'll use the improvised coal trick from now on. It's just gonna take way too long to deal with these like 5-hour fires just for one quick warm-up. I think we have to goat down. It's the only way we're gonna get to Ash Canyon fast enough.
I gotta eat soon.
No, Andy, this is the absolute crazy best spawn I've ever gotten. Not only did we find gloves and a hat and a jacket at the plane crash, but I got matches. This is not the run that we quit, that we left off last night. Yeah, cars are allowed. I think I just heard the moose. Yeah. One more thing to start wasting my time. Okay. Oh yeah, and the ear wrap. The problem is I didn't do the Pleasant Valley birch forest. I think that was actually a huge mistake in retrospect. Leap of faith. I don't think we can get back this way. This is kind of annoying. Okay. You thought teas would be an issue? Yeah. It's okay. We live and we learn. Obviously, there's advantages to coming here first, too. Like, if we can pull this off, then it's nice to have the faster start. I think probably the best argument that I should definitely have gotten the teas in Pleasant Valley is that they would have respawned by the time we got back. So it's not just a matter of what order we collect things in, but we actually would have just had more teas overall.
Starting to feel numb.
What's my end game? 1,000 days. It's looking like my end game might be day 2. We'll see. Now, I think we survived this. The only question is, how much tea do I walk out of Ash Canyon with? If I walk out of here with like 20 plus teas after healing up, then we might be looking good for a while.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Coffee and the sleepy time tea is allowed. Well, that's a post hoc rationalization that we were talking about. I don't know if that's reasonable to make that change mid-game. The whole idea of this challenge was to show how insanely powerful birch bark tea is. We start allowing other teas, then I feel like it muddies the waters significantly. Oh man, I thought that was a coal there. I know I found coal in here. And that one definitely fooled me. Weird. Alright, this will have to do for shelter right here.
Come on, little fire. Oh, lucky day.
Alright, so I just want to get up to, let's call it maybe around plus 10. There's going to be maybe that much. And then let's start lighting these. It'd be hard to gauge this while the temperature is climbing. I think that's worse. 11. 11. Okay. So let's start dropping these. Well, look, I know from many years of experience playing games on crazy challenge modes that if you start compromising your rules mid-run, it becomes a muddy mess and you can't tell whether it's hard or not or which part made it easy or hard. It's gotta be, there's gotta be some semblance of order to what challenge you're playing. Willing to walk into Mountaineers for matches an hour ago. Oh, good point about the hour ago. I need to take a break. Sorry, guys. Yeah, exactly, serious. Time to get something to drink and stretch. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, thanks for your patience, everyone. Let me get caught up with chat before we hop back into the game. Yeah, Misery is the one that has the afflictions that pop up from time to time. Alright. I'm gonna kind of split the difference here. We might come back to this fire in a second if I find birch bark early enough. So I want to leave it with some duration on it and temperature. I also need to actually finish warming up. It looks like all my torches went out. Guess we can pick up any of these that are already ruined. Yeah, we're going straight to the birch forest, but I'm taking the canyon because there's actually birch that spawns in here a little bit. Yeah, definitely not going all the way back to that fire at this point. Okay, we have a tea. We have 2 teas. Sweet. That should be enough to get me to the birch forest for sure. So I was thinking a little during the break. Why am I stuck here? Long term, we can never come back to Pleasant Valley and Ash Canyon and Timberwolf once we're really late into the game. So I gotta somehow have enough birch income. I guess long term we'll have like all the crafted clothing and stuff.
Sure getting cold.
Yeah, Andy, you didn't think they were calling me a masochist for no reason, right? We can't have packaged foods or cattails.
It's so cold. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, the late game getting birch bark tea is it's gonna be like a cycle between Ravine, Mystery Lake, Marsh Ridge, Milton Basin. That's basically it, right? This is ridiculous, the amount of torches I'm having to pull and harvest at each of these fires. These are all still going? Alright, whatever.
My stomach feels like an empty pit.
I think we probably go with 2 teas per fire now, when possible. Why am I suddenly so slow? Was that an indoor cave there? That was weird. I was like suddenly slower for a period of time. I wonder if that's illegal. I'll have to check that out later. That would be funny. It's technically not allowed for this challenge based on the rules that I put in. Well, I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a transition. I mean, no, because there's a way around. Usually we don't allow transitions. Who's dying? I'm not dying. I was hoping to get that piece of coal that spawned here last time over in the corner. Is it even worth walking all the way over here just for one piece of coal? Probably not. Guess it's not here today. Naturally, when I actually need it. Okay, guys, I messed up. I should have only had one tea. Because we actually are going to have 3 separate fires before we get to the birch, I think. Birch forest. So I needed, where's the bear? I heard him. He's walking right there. Well... This is not an ideal situation, is it?
I can't feel my feet.
Uh-oh.
Come on, little fire.
We might be in trouble, guys. I just gotta start as fast as I can. Oh, I didn't do it in time. Oh well. Yeah. If she had succeeded at the fire, it would have been fine. Because then we could have scared him off. But I couldn't click fast enough to start the fire, and she failed 2 times in a row? Yeah. Well, there goes the god run. We'll never get another run like that. Okay, well, at least I learned my lesson. No matter how good the spawn is, we have to go to the birch forest. Which means, do we just go to the birch forest first? Because we have to go there regardless?
Bleeding all over the place.
I think that is what it means, right? If we have to go to the birch forest regardless... I survived, probably because I was healing during the attack. I still had that birch bark effect on me. Slowly gaining health while the bear was, taking me out. Now you can fix any rules that I wish to? Yeah, that's true. Alright, I guess Kirk brings up a valid point. So the question is, based on that experience, what do we think is a reasonable rule set that keeps this fun and challenging without making it too difficult? So number 1, I think we definitely allow the Mountaineer's Hut matches if we don't have matches by the time we get there, because that prevents potentially tens of restarts. You could easily see having to restart 10 or 20 times before we find matches. No, not allow caves. And not allow Mountaineer's Hut. No, the point of allowing the matches from the hut is, I could restart over and over again until I just get lucky, like I did on this last run. Allow all natural teas? No, that's way too much. No, you guys are not seeing how minor of a change we need, because... Okay, just to put it in perspective. If I had gone to Pleasant Valley and gotten the, like, 20 birch bark there, my health would have been 50% higher. More than 50% higher, right? Because not only would I have been able to regenerate all that health, but I would have had all the warmth from the teas for traveling too. Okay, serious. I like transition caves. Alright. So there's no caves except I can transition to Blackrock and HRV. Because then I can make broth reliably in the late game. I like that. Okay, so we'll allow going into HRV. That'll give me my cooking pot. If I am not lucky enough to find matches by the time I get to Mountaineers, I'll create my own luck by picking them up from the Mountaineers hut. Yeah, and DC, I'm thinking we add acorn coffee and birch bark tea, and burdock tea to the menu. Actually, forget that. We add acorns and burdock to the menu. I could choose to use them as food. Oh, right. The coffee and teas from the plane crash. Okay, let me think about this. I don't actually know. Yeah, the thing about the acorn and the burdock and the herbal tea and the coffee is that they're all low spawn, right? So they have a minimal effect. They just add a little bit of extra buffs in, which is going to make it a little bit easier to get the warmth I need. I think it's fine to add all of them. It does make the plane crash really powerful. It makes the strategy of going to Timberwolf really powerful because you get at least 10 coffee and yeah, you get 10 coffee, 10 teas, and then another 5 either coffee or tea. So you add like 25 teas with 10 or 15 of them giving the extra energy that coffee does. That's a lot. On the other hand, it's a buff to the early game, and I feel like with these insane challenges, part of the reason that I make these so hard is because I know that you reach a certain point in the game and it gets a lot easier. So I think it's okay to add some buffs to the early game and keep the late game just as hard. Okay, I think I'm happy with all those changes. Anybody have any last minute things to add as far as rules that we should add in? And yeah, with no bedroll, I think it's okay to have a little bit of coffee in the game. Okay, but we're keeping all the packaged food out, and we're keeping cattails out. Does anybody know the acorn pancake recipe? It's acorns, maple syrup. Does it call for oil? Probably oil and water. Okay. So I'm adding, I'm gonna add maple syrup to the mix too. Just because Sirius is right, we should be able to make acorn pancakes. If we get to the point where we have a cooking skillet, which is almost impossible to find, we can make oil from the animal fat that we find using our cooking pot from HRV. So if we're lucky enough to find, I mean, look, we're never gonna actually make these, but I'm just gonna say, because it's a plant-based food, we're just gonna throw maple syrup into the mix, because that'll be like a incredibly rare, lucky find that'll be like, that's a meal for the night. So we're gonna allow maple syrup. Okay, Andy, you might be right. I might be changing too much. Sirius just wants me to make acorn pancakes. Alright, forget the maple syrup. We'll just have it as a reserve. If we make it to the end game, we'll eat our victory acorn pancakes. Okay. Keep it whimsical. Now, it is true that we're making it a bit more complicated than I had originally intended. Okay, so with the new plan, we go straight to the birch forest. I think we check... It doesn't hurt to check for the flare. But I think I'm going to keep playing even if we don't find the flare. Because the flare is ultimately relatively minor. In the grand scheme of things, when the plan is to definitely get matches from by the time we get to Timberwolf. You know, the more I think about this, there may not actually be time to do all this. I wonder if there's a world where we skip PV plane crash. That sounds insane. Oh, and I forgot to say it, but we definitely reroll windy starts. That'll give me more flexibility with frostbite. Random spawns in Interloper are more challenging than... Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, I can't skip the plane crash. I need the cloth. It's just too good to have all the, Made it too easy. Yeah, we'll see. You guys are funny.
Freezing.
Oh, it can spawn all the way out here. Good to know. Seems to be a lot here at the edge. I think it does spawn in clusters, like just like the sticks, they have like a little spawn area, and then it's like an item spawner, and then things spawn in a radius of that. Seems to be how they programmed it. So I think we're gonna assume that there's nothing over there. Go ahead and start heading back. Now, I have a theory. I think it may not be possible to get to the fishing hut, check for matches, then run over to Mountaineers, pick the matches up. I think it may not be possible to do all of that before we get hypothermia. This is a long trip with all these places that we're going first. Ugh, and I hate to do this, but the way around that would be to say, okay, we restart for the flare, and if we don't find matches by the fishing hut, then we get them from Mountaineers. I can't wait for them to come out with a really good custom configuration where you can just choose what options you want. Can make this whole system much better. Yeah, serious. I think Andy was joking about this now being easier than a random interloper spawn. Pretty sure. (27% hypothermia risk). Okay, so technically, even if we got hypothermia, we might be able to just go sleep it off. In fact, we might be able to use it to heal a bunch and sleep, depending on the exact situation. You got me to agree to victory condition pancakes. I haven't looked into mods at all, honestly. It just it's a big time investment. 16 birch bark. Not too bad, I guess. Yeah, there's a few places to get an outdoor skillet. I think it's fairly likely in Bleak Inlet under the cannery, and I think you can get one at Paradise Meadows Farm, maybe, outside. Just a little bit less lucky than last time.
What have we here?
If Astrid had succeeded at either of those 60% fire rolls, we'd still be playing that one. We'd have like 50 birch bark now. Oh, jeez. Timberwolves again. I don't think there's any reason to continue playing this. Alright, let me just see. So we're at... Yeah, we were definitely going to get hypothermia long before we got to the place. So I think we go for the flare. So same rules and everything, but we pick up the flare. And we obviously do not play when we're gonna have to run in the wind at the start. It just completely destroys any chances we have. I don't know, maybe time to switch to a new challenge. I do feel like if I end up restarting too many times on one of these challenges, like even if I think the overall idea is fun, and it could be fun if I got the start that I need, I think it just, it does eventually start to wear on me, and obviously the audience may not want to watch the same thing over and over again. Unfortunately, the main alternate idea I can think of off the top of my head is to do Perfect Misery right now, which is, has its own problems with restarts. Ooh, I do still have those pre-qualified, I got a couple of pre-qualified runs for the, no caves outer Nagoa. That was the one that we took to 50 days. And on those I did a Mystery Lake spawn just to check to make sure that the bedroll exists for the run. So then we can spawn in and, you know, run dispense and do the typical stuff and still know that we're gonna actually have a bedroll for the run. Unlike our 6.25% dream run from last time we played Purist Outer. Oh, the moose just appeared on top of that hill. That's nice.
My fingers feel numb.
I don't know why I picked that soda up.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
Only empty caves? What are you talking about, like as a rule? I feel like most caves are pretty empty. Hello? Any birch bark around? I would love to have some. There's one. There's a couple. Okay. So in theory, this run should be it, right? Because we spawned in with no wind and we found the flare. So according to my stipulations that I've made about how we're going to play, I should be able to survive this spawn basically no matter what. Unless there's like a 12-hour blizzard. Okay, so not no matter what. There's always an edge case. That's 3 containers that could have had matches but didn't. I wonder if we could count up all the containers and like look up the loot chances and figure out what the actual chances are of finding an RNG pack of matches by the time we reach the fishing hut. The percentage would probably just depress us all. No, I bet it would be, well, okay, maybe. Because I'm thinking it would probably be like 10 or 15%, which, yeah, I can see how that would be depressing. Alright, where's the rest of my birch bark? I was led to believe that there would be more birch over here. Okay, there's a couple. Oh, nice. With the jackpot here at the end. I think this is going to be a really good spawn. There's the bear. Alright, is that it? That looks like that's about it. 21. Nice. Even if I don't get hat and gloves, as long as we get some cloth. I mean, obviously I'd prefer to not get frostbite. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit greedy, I think. Since I'm not getting any teas or anything over there. Let's go back out to the river and get a few cattails for tinder. And this will allow me to also pick up a couple of other nice things over here before we head up to the plane crash. If I could shave the trees of their bark, yeah, it would be pretty overpowered, that's for sure. Main reason I'm coming this way is to get the extra birch bark that's here. There's a couple extra pieces I can get. Burdock is allowed, but of course we don't have a pry bar yet. Ugh. Might get frostbite as a result of that detour. Have I done any far territories challenges? No, not really. Oh, that's the other thing that I want to stream. I don't know how many of you remember this, but heck, it's probably been 2 years ago at this point. I had that Nogoa Tails run where I had almost finished the first tail. This is all blind, so I've never done the second and third tail. I briefly looked at Zone of Contamination. I am completely blind on Sundered Pass still. But I had this save where I was close to finishing the first tail, and the plan was to go ahead and do all 3 tails blind on Nogoa. So I'm thinking about bringing that back. That was the last thing I played when I was having issues with my old computer. With all the crashes. So I was thinking I might bring that series back, but do it on stream. Alright, unless one of these first couple of suitcases has gloves, we're definitely getting frostbite.
I'll take it.
That'll prevent the extra frostbite, but not the one that's going to trigger first.
This'll come in handy.
Looks like there's more suitcases than usual.
I think I can use this.
We almost have hypothermia. Alright, let's just go start this. Didn't realize that the hypothermia was also so high.
One little fire. Come on, little fire.
So going for those cattails was actually well worth it because that saved me from having to craft tinder before I started the fire, which would have eaten up a bunch of time anyway. It's like 13, really. Yeah, if we're lucky, we might find some gloves and I think we skipped maybe one suitcase on the way in here. Have to get pretty lucky, though. Ugh. Underwear is kind of garbage. Shirt is kind of garbage. The spawn rate is terrible? What are you talking about? The spawn rate for clothing in the suitcases? Oh, it feels so good to have so many teas. That was clearly a disaster last time, not getting all the teas. I wouldn't say it's the only break I got. We got some decent clothing. I mean, these are cloth, even if they're not great. The extra jeans may be cloth at some point. I don't know, it's not terrible. Oh, we checked that one? Okay, so there really is, like, nothing else.
I'll take it.
No, you won't, Astrid. You cannot eat that. Don't you remember you're allergic to ketchup? Alright, so there's really nothing else to do here. I guess we just go check the... Hopefully we don't have timber wolves for a third time in a row. Oh, there's this thing that I always forget to check. And we get nothing today. Alright, no suitcases in here, right? We'll loot one of the overhead lockers just to see if they fixed it yet. I mean, we wouldn't know anyway. Unless we got really lucky. I think one more of these. An hour since last break. Thanks for pointing that out. Alright, let me, once this tea is done, we'll take a break. I'm just gonna get some stuff ready. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these here. I'm gonna take this with me. We got some water going. Okay, so we'll head out as soon as I get back. All right, see you guys in 5. Alright, I'm back. Good call, Andy. I should absolutely check to see if I have a sewing kit for crafting hand wraps. I don't think I remember finding one, but... Okay. Right, so we're going to check outside. Yeah, no sewing kit and tools here. I just grabbed my hot tea in case we need it. We got all our clothing on. I'm not gonna get frostbite just on this short little trip. I guess we sprint, although I don't want to trigger the Timberwolves this time if they're here. I really hope they're not this time. Huh, nothing over here this time. Deer. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think we just burn up the last of our energy. It's not really doing us any good. Okay, I guess not burn up all of it, because we can still go back to the fire to warm up. When we're traveling... Next time we're traveling away from a fire, we'll sprint out the rest of it. Don't really need that. Oh, was that a hacksaw? It almost looked like it. Can't take the dog food. No, this tricked me. But I saw a hacksaw there. Dog food is meat, right? Shouldn't that be allowed? 60%. I think that is going up still, unfortunately, even though it's not really windy out. Sometimes it doesn't even increase if it's calm enough out. Perhaps calm and warm enough. Yeah, I'd have to smash it open, but that's fine.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
Alright, we get warmed up and we leave. Yeah, DC. Exactly. She has to be allergic to something in it. We don't need to know what it is, but we do know that we're not changing the rules in the middle of the run. Alright, let's get a bit warmer here. Need to do some torch prep. Hey, Hava. Thanks for all the comments you've been leaving in the latest latest streams and the videos. It's good to get some feedback and know that somebody is out there enjoying everything. Really appreciate those comments. So we've changed the rules a bit. I'm now allowing burdock, acorns, and coffee and herbal tea. You left a point, why can you use the fuselage of the plane, but not the mouths of caves? Yeah, so the mouths of caves thing is mostly because it just feels cheaty to me because it's like using the cave, right? Like there's no reason that it should be windproof. It's just that they coded the windproof area of the cave to extend out a bit more. So I view it as being essentially the same as using the front half of the cave. I don't know. A lot of the rules are kind of arbitrary, right? Like you come up with a system, you try to balance the fun and the challenge, and it's never going to be perfect. Oh, right, and I forgot, I should be using the improvised coal trick, the thing where you use, we can probably do that a little bit here, where you get a little bit of extra warmth from some torches. Just to warm up, oops. Just to warm up a bit quicker. %, frostbite risk. Alright, we'll probably come back through here again. I'm not gonna bother picking up all those torches. Oh no. The wind. Let me move. Ah, I hate this. I think it's best to just wait it out. It stinks, but... Wasn't the original outer challenge definition any indoor area that causes a loading zone? I mean, maybe. This is like so far in the past. This was long before my time. But yeah, it's just, it's too easy if you can just go in like Mountaineers or the lookout towers and just sleep. Right? Like it's a very... Or I see what you're saying. You're just talking about how there's a lot of different rules and they have to be changed over time. I mean, we could just go regardless of wind. I mean, that's what I'd do if I was a bit further along, but it feels foolish to abandon the fire completely. What if the fuselage is like a Frankie? It's the only fire you're allowed to keep in a true wind sheltered area? Huh. Interesting concept. So like, so the idea would be, so you're talking about doing a run? Huh. I'm not sure if you're talking about doing like a one match challenge where you... Because there's lots of windproof areas in the game to set up a fire. Some unintentional, but still windproof. Oh, you can go anywhere you want, so you don't have to leave it. So you're just saying no windproof fires except for this one. Like this one is like a special case. Hmm. So no fishing huts. No, no stove fires in the fishing huts. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we could build a challenge around that. Certainly not for this run. I don't think. I mean, I guess there's no reason why you couldn't add it to this run, but this run is already hard enough, right? Like, I've completely failed to survive in this challenge so far, so we don't really need to add more difficulty rules. Let me see how we're doing here. -17. Yeah, it's just brutally cold and windy. Probably tear this down. This is pretty junky item. So is this. There's 2 teardowns I can do while we're killing time here. You need fishing to survive later misery? Yeah, right now I'm treating fish as allowed under the meat rule, right? So it's like meat plus birch bark tea. I'm treating fish as a meat. I'm not convinced that you 100% need the fish because you can still get a fair amount of vitamin C from birch bark. I don't know though, it would be tough, right? Like you'd have to really collect a lot. It hasn't really changed out here.
I need to find food.
At least we're getting rid of our frostbite risk. I guess that's the other reason to stay here. We're trading a time where our frostbite risk would be increasing rapidly for actually getting rid of the risk completely. Go for flare, then grove, then gloves, sewing kit, and socks. Summit get the flare gun. Oh, wait, you're saying stay around, Pleasant Valley. Stay around Pleasant Valley, get hacksaw and matches and cars. And only after you have the hacksaw and the matches, then go to Timberwolf. Is that what you're suggesting? I think that might be it. Let me just do a quick check. Yeah, this has to be it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. We did completely clear the frostbite. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you were here for this, so I basically made a decision. So the way this start works, right, is you get that flare, and then you need to find matches by a certain point in the game in order to not die. And so I've sort of arbitrarily decided that that point is basically the fishing hut in Timberwolf Mountain. So one way you could do this is you spawn in, you get the flare, you get the birch bark, you go to the plane crash, you get everything. You come up here, check these cars, check the area at the rope climb up, go to the fishing hut, check for matches, and if you don't get them, then your run is dead, and you have to try again. And so you do that, you know, like 10 or 15 times, and eventually you get a start where you get matches. So I was thinking, instead of wasting all that time, what if I just say, okay, we'll force the luck with the matches by saying, if and only if I haven't found matches by the time I get to Mountaineer's Hut, we just go in Mountaineer's Hut and grab the matches. And that treats it as though I was lucky enough to find them. Anyway, so that's what we're doing now. Hey, Life. Welcome in. Yeah, restart protection. Exactly. All the cars in Milton. I don't know what game you're playing, but we're not making it to Milton. Maybe you mean Thompson's Crossing? Yeah, so the reason I went with this is because there are guaranteed matches in Mountaineer's Hut. Well, I guess you could go to Thompson's, and if you don't find matches by a certain point, you just go in the rural store and grab them. There's an argument to be made that that would be roughly equivalent to what we're doing right now. Oh my gosh, get me over this thing. Oh, okay. I think I got this in time. I really don't want to stop and make fires until I absolutely have to. Yeah, we got it. That'll be the last one. Can obviously make more at the next fire, assuming there is a next fire. Oh, Hava, I think I see what you're saying. You're saying stay in Pleasant Valley longer to get more info on the hacksaw. Potentially get the hacksaw before we go to Timberwolf. Yeah, there's a trade-off no matter which way you go, I think. I think I'm definitely prioritizing traveling towards more birch bark. Even if we don't have the hacksaw, then oh well, we can't make full use of the summit. Oh right, I almost forgot. I mean, I did forget. I lost some height there, so we might not even make this. I didn't, the hacksaw is outside of the cabin at Timberwolf Mountain. Yes, you can grab it off the windowsill. Rule of fun. If you're standing outside and you can yoink an item that's like on the edge of the inside-outside barrier, why not take it? Okay, let's craft a tinder here while we're waiting to get my energy back. Really? Water, right?
Gotta warm up some.
Wait, what happened? I didn't still have some energy left. Why does it say I'm encumbered? I'm not encumbered. Okay. Yeah, there's very few ropes in the game that you can do this without crampons. Life. Yeah, DC, I think I got out of my inventory and clicked so fast that it didn't update my carry weight yet. That's the only reason I can think of for why
Die if I don't get some food soon.
I'm gonna take a little cold damage here. Oh, it looks like we're getting some kind of fog, which is really, really nice.
Oh, so cold. Come on, little fire. Come on, little fire.
Well, thanks, Hava. It's nice to have you here.
Come on, little fire. Are you serious?
Are you serious, Astrid? Oh, I have a thing. We probably should have been using this. The game is probably trying to teach me a lesson. Like, you're not willing to burn your book? Well, then have this. It's a string of failures.
Come on, little fire. Perfect.
Okay, I think we're in the optimal position here. Let's use this improvised coal trick to get some additional warmth for a faster warm-up. Fantasy books. Yeah. The idea of me reading a book on most of these crazy outer challenges is pure fantasy in the first place. Yeah, the advanced gun book, I think, is insanely long.
I'm so hungry.
Such a different feel coming in here with all those teas. Frostbite risk is still kind of crazy, but that's fine. So let's say we find a sewing kit at the fishing hut. Do we then take the time to craft gloves? Yeah, DC, it's just too much health and warmth to leave behind. I don't know why I ever thought that it would make sense to skip, right? Like, the entire idea behind this challenge is birch bark is overpowered. You can crank everything else up to 11 and still survive. Yeah, we're gonna get frostbite. I'm tempted. Yeah, let's just go and drink this as well. It's more important to just keep moving, take advantage of this good weather. We're just gonna let the frostbite happen. If we're lucky, we'll get one frostbite, and then we'll get to, we'll find or craft gloves after that. I'm glad you like the name. I'm pretty happy with it. Somewhere around here there's more birch bark. When in doubt, check near birch trees, right? It might be up there somewhere. It's really hard to tell in this fog. Apparently not here. Oh, here we go.
It's a goddamn.
Nice. Earned a full extra T for taking the trouble to do that. Now, where the heck are we, though? This doesn't look right at all. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. This either takes me to Mountaineers or the lake, I think. And we'll just figure it out based on that. This looks very confusing to me. I don't understand where we are right now. Or maybe this is going back behind Mountaineers. Yeah, I think this is going back behind Mountaineers. I think I actually found one of the birch bark spawns, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. There's another one like over there somewhere. Oh, I'm really unhappy. It looks like we're going back the way I came now. I think I lost my direction. Fortunately, it looks like the fog is lifting, so we shouldn't be stuck out here for too long. Hopefully passing through this arch means we're going the right way. Frequently they have little landscape clues like that. Yeah.
Starting to feel numb.
That's exactly what it meant. No, no hacksaw there. Unlucky. It's really good if you can find it there because it saves the whole trip up top.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Check the porch for what? Oh, you're probably thinking of on lower difficulties, the hacksaw can spawn in that front porch area. That doesn't happen on Loper or Misery. Yeah, there's never a hacksaw there on this mode. I know what you're talking about though.
Come on, little fire. Come on, little fire.
Just because I'm allergic to cattails doesn't mean I can't use them to start a fire, right? Ah, it's too bad we got hat instead of gloves.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
I think that flare means we don't have to cheat. That flare should be enough to get me to the top. It's not matches, but it's another match. How is it so cold? All right, are we using... How are we doing this? Let's get up to like 10. And then do... So it's 9, 12 here. Okay. Okay, so this time, if we can determine the status of the hacksaw. I wonder if we go summit first and then do Ash Canyon afterwards. Alright, it's possible it makes sense to go to Ash Canyon first regardless. Because we get that 2 cloth for free from the towel. And we can sleep there. Makes it a little bit easier to craft the snow shelter later, in theory. Can you shred bedrolls for cloth? No. I have to act like the bedrolls don't spawn at all. So, for those of you who haven't been around for the full circuit, the whole reason of playing no bedroll in the first place was I really didn't like having to look for bedrolls. Because sometimes the game is really easy because you find 2 bedrolls easily. And sometimes it's really hard, like you get a 6.25% chance of having 0 bedrolls in the game. And so the whole point is we're playing it where we don't look for bedrolls, and so that's why if I made it so I could harvest it and get the 10 cloth, then we'd be back to square one. It'd be like, it'd be worth looking for them. So we're treating them like they don't exist as a loot option in the game. If that makes any sense. Alright, you know what? Let's do a quick excursion here. I'm gonna come right back, I think. You know what? This is too far. I changed my mind. I was gonna go try to get that little bit of birch bark on the hill, but I think we can hit that on the way anyway, once we come down from the top. Yeah, it'd be too far to go do all that. So whether we find a hacksaw or not, we're coming back to this fishing hut, I think. It's certainly preferable to harvesting everything, so let's just crank this up to like 4 hours. Get this heated back up. We leave in 3 minutes. That's done in 2. Grab a couple of torches and go. Where do you sleep next? It depends on where we decide to go, but either in a snow shelter if we plan to summit first. Or we probably sleep in Ash Canyon at that bed way up in the corner of the map. In other words, we're not sleeping tonight, we're sleeping tomorrow night if we go to Ash Canyon.
Where can I find something to eat?
But that was from 2 years ago, what you're talking about me not being the best shot. Although, to be honest, I'm still not the best shot. Let's be real. Oh, I just realized we have to go summit first. Because all we have is that one flare. We can't go into Ash Canyon unless we really want to risk things. That'd be incredibly risky to try to do the whole Ash Canyon circuit with effectively a single match. I don't see any coal over there. Let's just go. You talking about the hunting tournament? I gave up because I knew I was out of time. I didn't have enough time to finish it before the end. But yeah, I'm still exactly, Hava. Yeah, my strength is in planning out the start and like getting all the resources lined up and the timing and the efficiency. And then but I knew that I was probably going to lose that to, you know, being completely clueless about how to do the actual hunting. And I think it's safe to say I was right. That is what I lost it to. Now, technically, these acorns are legal. Realistically, collecting them now when we don't even have a hammer and we have no realistic... Yeah, it's just a bad idea. I was gonna cancel searching that, but I ended up not needing to, I guess. Alright, no hacksaw here, so... Looks like we got the hacksaw at the summit again, if it's even there. Oh, there are a lot of acorns. Well, after we summit, we'll be in a more comfortable position and we can go down here and grab all the acorns then.
just want to lay down for a bit.
I think the other reason I'm leaning so much towards the idea of this being the last attempt at this challenge for right now, is that when we do these starts over and over again for these challenges that have these very specific requirements, we end up just doing the same route, right? Because I'm gonna do the same route that we did last time, where we go get the birch bark, check the wing, and everything we've done up to this point has also been pretty similar. So, even if just for a change of pace, next challenge we do will be something different. There's no way I only have 3 of these left. That doesn't seem right. Wow, we have 5 total Ts. Okay. I guess my health is a lot higher than last time, but we really burned through a lot of those. Okay, I guess it's 1 T per trip for a while now. Yeah. Okay. $15. I have 7 hours of restore condition, so we're gonna restore a lot of health over the next little bit. Hey, Mako. Trying to ignore what time it is for you? Yeah, I won't tell you what time it is where you are. You'd probably rather not know. I'm sure you know what time it is. But yeah, it's getting quite late here. I should probably do, well, we need to save. Before we do anything. So we may end up getting a sprain somewhere. If bedrolls make it possible to build the snow shelter to get you to the summit, then perhaps it's worth incorporating them in. No, I can make a snow shelter anyway. I don't need the bedrolls to be able to do that. I get your point, though. Mako, so that run where I went to Bleak Inlet, we hit the 25% chance to have no bedroll in Bleak. It was in the indoor room at the cannery. So we hit the total 6.25% chance of a cursed run with 0 bedrolls. And then I died shortly thereafter because I also never found any RNG matches in 4 regions searched. It was pretty brutal. Yeah, hitting that 6.25% chance for 0 bedrolls in the world is just, it just feels so bad to play for that long and then have that be the result. So of course now we're back to a no bedroll challenge. At least then we won't waste time looking for it.
dying from starvation.
Almost done with cliff dwellers. Wow, really? That was fast. Now the real question, how many of your 350 days did you manage to kill on that? Probably, you probably don't want to think about it. Just like you don't want to think about what time it is. Yeah, exactly. Oh, those rabbits really scared me. Okay, so can't really do anything until we determine whether this lantern is here. And unfortunately, we've already ruled out one lantern spawn in the fishing hut this time, so we have a 33% chance of hitting the dreaded no hacksaw in Timberwolf Mountain spawn here.
Good. Weak.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the placement options in the prison look like. I could see that getting pretty interesting. But yeah, it feels like if placing anywhere isn't working, you're not going to be able to do a large portion of what you'd like to be able to do for that type of thing. Just as far as trying to get the details to look right.
I can't feel my hands.
I feel like once again I'm getting robbed of my theoretical high amounts of birch bark here. Stick. Yeah, I don't see anything else over there. Let's go this way. Check the other side. It's usually all grouped kind of around this wing in a line from what I've seen before. They really make you work for it.
Freezing.
About to get another frostbite. We never found a sewing kit, so... I think I'm going to use this frostbite as my save point for tonight. I'm starting to get a little tired. We'll go check this container to see if we have a hacksaw, and then I can make plans based on that for next stream. Really didn't get as much birch bark as I wanted there. Yeah, there's the frostbite. And moment of truth, no lantern. Okay, so there is a hacksaw at the summit, and we got more birch bark over here, but let's go ahead and call it there. Let me catch up on chat here. Yeah, the super precise placement with that. Hava, you want to say live? The Frankie series got you through some rough times, not done yet. Those are no spoilers. The ASMR of the clinking pots and pans. Something I just like about it. Oh, you mean like the clinking pots and pans? Are you talking about like when we're walking around with all the heavy gear coming back? That is a very long series. Yeah, I won't spoil anything about it. Terrible spawn rate on these maps. What are you talking about, Andy? Terrible spawn rate. Oh, I think you misconstrued what I was looking for. Yeah, no. So the hacksaw couldn't have ever been next to those crates. The question was, I was trying to determine whether there's a hacksaw at the summit or no hacksaw at all. So it's kind of complicated. There's like loot tables and you have to figure out based on where certain items are. I mean, you don't have to play that way, obviously. You can just play normally, but for this sort of insane challenge, I like to know when I go to the summit if there's going to be a hacksaw waiting for me. But anyway, so the tough part here is we're going to have to make it to a spot to make a snow shelter. We're going to have to tear down probably 3 items of clothing, because I think I only have 2 cloth right now. Make the snow shelter, get fully rested, and then go to the summit, and we only have a single match. We have that 1 blue flare. And we have no coffee, because no hacksaw. You've seen the tables and you think it's a bad seed? Well, I mean, okay, but the hacksaw is still at the summit. So... that marine flare was RNG, that was in a container. Anyway, thanks everyone. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Oh, I just realized I've got the music playing for the game over the... You guys can enjoy your nice, hot can of food next to the fire if I have that extra music playing in the background. Alright, thanks Hava, Andy, Nana, DC. Oh, Turkey was in here? I didn't see you, Turkey. Maybe you just didn't type anything until now. And Kirk and Mako, and there were a lot of people here today. Thanks a lot, everyone. Next time we'll see if we can pull the summit off. Alright, catch you guys later.